Ben, 4-6 a year ago. You're coming back to Hunting Valley, which I'm sure is welcome for you. How special is it to be back, and how are things going so far?
To be at a place where I went to school, where I started as a young teacher, to be able to coach with Jim Stevens, who was one of my teachers and one of a coach who I worked with when I was a very young coach, is a really great opportunity. And so, it's really exciting to be here, to be in this situation. It's where my sons go to school, and so I've been lucky. I've been at great places all the way along, but university school is certainly home to me.
This team averaged 19 points a game last year, which is very un-US-like with some of the prolific offenses they've had, through the years. What do you guys need to do to kind of drive that number up and get that yardage and that prolific look back that you guys have had before?
I think what's always been the emphasis here is pay attention to details, be a team that executes well, and we will succeed. And let's also bring a little bit of physicality back to the offensive side of the ball. So for us, we've really made a big commitment to running the football in the preseason. And certainly, will there be some games where we have to air it out? Absolutely. But the idea is, hey, we're going to make our defense better. We're going to become a tougher football team by running the ball and establishing that as part of our identity and character.
It's interesting, obviously, going from primarily pack schedule to playing a full independent schedule. How much of a transition do you think that'll be for the program?
I don't see it as a big transition in the sense that we're going to prepare for an opponent every week. Now, I think in the long term, what's different is you don't have those opponents that you play year in, year out, who know you know them. Sometimes there's a little bit less stability in the schedule. So, I think it might be an issue down the road. At the same time, my view is that week to week, it doesn't make a big difference to our players or to us. We've been playing football for 125 years. We're one of the winningest programs in the history of the state of Ohio. We expect to do it well against any opponent.
You got some good pieces back that got, young guys that got some playing time, a year ago, especially guys like, Sanito and Cunningham. Just tell me about the progression since you've gotten a hold of them, and what have you seen from them just building into this year?
Well, we've had very eager guys. Frankie and Jaden took a lot of time this spring and this summer to learn the offense. They have a really good command of it already, which is a great thing. One of my former guys actually came out and watched and said, "I can't believe you have all this offense in already." And I thought, wow, that's a real compliment to our guys how quickly they picked it up. So they're doing a great job, and our receivers are starting to catch up and get the details of routes. That's also a key. If you're a team like us, we have to control the margins, and the margins for us are about being very detail oriented and executing technique on every play. If we do that, we can go compete with the better teams on our schedule. If not, those will be tough games.
And defensively, you guys averaged giving up about 32 points a year ago, which I'm sure you'd like to drive that number down. What are you guys going to try to do scheme-wise to try to drive that down a little bit?
Well, I think it's the thing any team would talk about doing when you give up 32 points a game. The reality is the first thing you clean up is alignment. The second thing you clean up is technique. And then the third thing you clean up is finishing plays and tackling. So we've just made a big emphasis. Even in our summer camps when we were going on pads, we worked a lot on tackling form. And so we're going to continue to do that. That was the main thing. I said 3 things coming out of our scrimmage. I said we have to commit to continuing to improve, we have to correct the mistakes, and we've got to say that we're going to be a team that tackles. And, we had a good tackling day yesterday, but not a great one. We just have to make every day a great tackling day.